Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Transfer Hub, your home of Aston Villa's transfer news, links, rumours, noise, murmurings, incomings, outgoings, you name it. You'll find it here on Up the Villa and Transfer Hub. We are probably around 50 away from 27,000 subscribers. So if you can all get on the journey, if you are new, you're all absolutely loving the content that I'm producing at the minute, which is fantastic. So if you can help me out by subscribing, that would be absolutely wonderful. Let's get to 27K and comment your thoughts on everything that I discuss on the show. Goes off like a fan forum, and make sure you smash in the like button. It's Sunday, so we've not really got much to do. So smash the like button. Let's try and get 900. So we're going to be very busy on Up the Villa in the next week or so with transfers, etc., with what's going on and Villa needing to sign players. And today we've had another rumour drop, and this time in the form of Paqueta from West Ham. So all of the sources and all of the news is pretty much doing the rounds all on social media now that Aston Villa are interested in Paqueta from West Ham. My general thoughts on Paqueta are that he's a very, very talented player that needs a fresh change because he's gone a bit, well, a bit like Villa. He's gone a bit stale. He's gone a bit stale, lads and lassies. He's gone a bit stale. So he needs a fresh change, and I think it could do him the world of good. Now, he's a good player, and I really like him, and he's got ability. We saw that against Chelsea on Friday night. And I know we will be having comments of, we need wingers, we need wingers. Yes, we do. But I also feel like this could be a two-signing situation where, if it makes sense, the only way this would make sense is if we make two signings. And I'm going to explain what I mean now by going to the tactical pad and having a look at where he actually plays. Now, Paqueta plays in this position and this position. So inside, not in a central midfield, not as a winger, but inside. Now, the reason why I'm saying it could make sense for Villa is that if we play Paqueta here and sign a wing-back, then this signing could actually make perfect sense to me, because he could even start out a bit wider, drift inside, wing-back goes and supports through there. That makes sense to me. And it also would make sense to me if he played on this side. Now, I know we don't like him here, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit of an example. Is that he can play here, predominantly his main position on that left-hand side, and then you've got the overlapping wing-back on the opposite side. So we have got a position for him that would be kind of ready-made for him, and he's got good ability on the ball. So I actually don't mind it. I actually feel like it could probably be a good signing, but I would want something to happen out here, or a winger out here, and he plays and he drifts and he moves around. So for me, that's how I could see him fitting in at Aston Villa if he was to come to Villa. And you can see this from his heat map. Now, if I show you his heat map from last season, you can see the two red zones that he's working in, the left and the right-hand side. And I've maintained, and I'll still stick by this, that we haven't got a player that has locked down this left-hand side position, this inside midfielder that inverts, that acts as a midfielder, that's not a winger, that he's not a number 10, that he's just merging into a player. So when I look at this and I look at where Paqueta plays, he's comfortable at playing in that position, which at least kind of makes a bit of sense to me. The other element to it is is the winger situation on the right-hand side. But at the minute, how it looks to me is that we don't actually want a winger there. So it's okay saying that we want a winger, we want a right winger, but are we going to play him as a right winger? That's my situation. I don't actually know that we all want this wide player to come in, but I don't even know whether that's what we're looking for. Because when was we last linked with a winger? We were linked early on with Bakayoko, but apart from that, that's pretty much the only winger. We linked with Nkunku, who is a number 10 shadow striker position, central. Jackson, central. Paqueta, midfielder, central. Maybe on the left, on the right a little bit. So that's where I'm basically at, really. I can see a player that could actually suit our system. So he's 27 years of age now. So he's not, he's going to be 28 actually. So he's going to be 28 in a couple of days' time. Market value 25 million. What would they be looking for, West Ham? Now, West Ham are in a bit of financial trouble as well, that they can't sign any players themselves. And a little bit different to us, their situation. So maybe we could low ball offer and maybe get something happening with offering for a semi-decent fee for Paqueta, because it might allow them to do a little bit more business, So if we have a look at some of his numbers last year, and I do think he has slightly regressed a little bit, but he's obviously had all of his charges looming over him as well. So 33 total played, 27 he started, 4 goals, no assists last season. So bad season last year. Season before that, 4 goals, 6 assists. And the season before that, I imagine he had 4 and 3. So I guess numbers aren't that great, but I think sometimes, like I've mentioned before, numbers are very important, but actually there's other numbers that are more important. And I'm going to show you these more important numbers now. So you've got to think of, how do we play? And I know we're a bit frustrated with how we've been playing. But for example, what would we want? So what would we want from a player that plays in here? So we want progressive passes, we want passes into the penalty area, and we want through balls. So we want through balls into these 2 players. So that's what we want to start with. Finding players, Pau finding Paqueta, Paqueta finding Watkins and Rodgers. Those numbers to me are very, very important. So if we now go and have a look at what his numbers are for those type of situations then. So here we can see touches in the attacking penalty area is in the top 16%. Progressive passes received 3.40. So he is in the top 17%. And if we go down here now and have a look at, I spotted this before I came on, which was really important. So it was passes into the penalty area that really caught my eye. So passes into the penalty area, 1.63, and that's in the top 6% of players within his position. That is very, very high. And then his through balls, he is in the top 3% of players in his position for through balls at 0.65. So those through balls that are going into those attacking players are really, really high. We've got goal creating actions from a shot. He's in the top 4% for that. So touches in the attacking penalty area, top 16% of players within his position. So for me, a very system-based player. He's on 150 grand at West Ham, which obviously would have to come down. And he's valued at 28 million on transfer market. So I don't know if there is anything in this. I don't know if it is that concrete, but on the left, I actually feel like he could be quite good if we play with Maatsen overlapping. If there's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes. So I think it could be a decent signing. I don't know what the fee is. I don't know whether the wages will come down. I don't know whether it's on loan. I imagine it's not on loan, but he's a player that I like and a player that I think has done well in the Premier League, and I think he needs a fresh start. So those are my thoughts on Paqueta to Aston Villa. I'll keep you updated on every single transfer rumour that drops between now and deadline next Monday. So let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel. Up the Villa.